All right, in this video we start building our project, okay, and we'll be starting from the home page. But just before we start coding, I want to show you the remaining part of the repository. At the top here you have the repository where you can download your file, okay, but beneath that I have a comprehensive readme written out. So if you want to have a beforehand understanding of how the whole project works, so you can just go through this readme. Actually, we still get into all that. I'm still going to explain how the whole thing works as we proceed in the project, but you also have the option of this. You can go through it. You have the features, you have the stack, the prerequisites, how to set up the projects, how to set up your database, and all that. Down here, okay, so here we have the authentication workflow for both local, that is email and password, and OAuth. Okay, so here we have the scripts, we have the dependencies, and we have the dev dependencies. Okay, let me show you one thing here that is a little bit important. All right, and that is the migrate script. All of this, they came with Next. Okay, so those ones are built in, except for this experimental HTTPS. We also get there very soon. Okay, so this migrate script, I added this myself. So we'll be using this script to run a schema migration where we are about to set up a Postgres database. Okay, so this works with the node pg-migrate module. All right, so we use that to run a schema migration. Okay, so that's that for that. And for this project, I assume that you have a Postgres database set up on your PC. If you don't have that, I also have a video on that, on how to set up a Postgres database on your own PC. Okay, I will also add the link in the description of this video and for the previous videos, so you can just grab the video and see how you can set up a Postgres database on your PC, either Windows or Mac. Okay, so it's very easy to set up. Within 5-10 minutes you are good to go. Okay, so now let's get into our project. So for a start, we'll be starting with the home page, and by the side there I have the complete project open there so that we can use this for our reference. I guess that having a reference here is going to make the workflow much more easier for you. So you see, we have a reference point of what we are building, so it's going to aid your understanding. Okay, so the complete project is open by the side there, and here we are going to be working on our project. Okay, so we have a compressed view here, and here we can also have the full view. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to be starting my dev server. So you have your npm run dev. Okay, so that's going to start running your dev server. And if you look at my own terminal here, you can see that we have a simple statement here that port 3000 is in use, trying 3001 instead. The reason for that is because this complete project, I have it opened on port 3000, so that is why this one is open on 3001. But in your own case, your project might be opening on port 3000, so don't freak out because of that. I'm using 3001 because this one is opened on 3000, so your own will be opened on 3000, not 3001. So I'm going to just copy this link now, and then I'm going to paste it in to this browser. Okay, so that is going to compile our home page. I can also paste that here, okay, so that we can follow along. Okay, so I'm going to close this now. We're going to start from our home page. So okay, we are just going to start from this layout.txx, because if you look at the home page, we have a navigation bar at the top. So this navigation bar is shared across all our pages. So we'll be rendering the navigation bar inside of our layout. Okay, so we're going to first create a navigation component. Right, so we're going to go to our component. Okay, then we're going to create a navigation file. All right, so I'm going to call it navigation.tsx. Okay, so let me close the sidebar. All right, I'm going to React functional component. Okay, so I'm using React snippet extension to do that. You can as well write all of this out. Okay, so that's now a big deal. So we're going to have a nav HTML element here with a class name attribute, and because our main focus is on authentication, so we'll not be spending too much time on styling our classes. Okay, so I'll mostly be copying the styling. Okay, our main focus is authentication, not CSS. Okay, so if I save that now, okay, so we need to render this component in our layout. We need to render the JSX. So to render that, we go to our layout. Okay, before the children, we're going to render the navigation. Sorry, navigation. Okay, let me just type this out. Okay, so I'm going to import that. I save that. Okay, so here we have navigation. So I'm going to go back to my components now. All right, so we gave it a height of 5 frame, that is H20 in tailwind, background of white. Okay, and we also have a shadow of like, that is the shadow you are seeing here. All right, so inside of the nav element, we have a div element, and the div element has a link component inside of it. I'm using a emmet abbreviation. Okay, don't freak out, that is just emmet. Emmet makes your HTML writing much more faster. If you're not so much conversant with emmet just write out your HTML. Okay, this is going to have a class name attribute. Okay, I'm going to paste the styles for that. All right, this container is also going to have its own styles. Okay, so I'm going to copy the styles for the container. All right, I'm going to paste that in there. So our link is supposed to have href attributes. Okay, so that's going to direct us to the home page. We also need to import the link from next. Okay, so we have our link now. Inside of the link, we are going to have two things. We are going to have a React icon, the home icon. Then we are going to have the home text. Okay, so the React icon goes by FA home. All right, let me see if VS Code is not importing that for me. We can import that ourselves. So we're going to import, all right, FA home from React icons. React icon has already been installed alongside our other dependencies. Okay, so here we're going to have size of 5. Okay, that is width and height of 1.25 rem. Okay, so after that, we are going to have a span here, and the span is going to carry home. Okay, we're going to give it font medium, that is font weight of 500, and then we are going to have home. Okay, so if I save that now, home, if I save that, we're going to have a navigation. Okay, all right, so for navigation, and in the navigation, we're also going to have the sign out button, but we've not gotten to that point yet. So I think for now we are good with this. So now let's go to our home page. On the home page, we are going to be, okay, so this is not the home page. We're going to have the rest of the page. Then we are going to have this container. Okay, so we are going to go to page.txx. Okay, so let me close this. So this is our home page. All right, we have some styles here. Okay, so I'm going to just copy the style for the main HTML elements. Okay, if you look at this, you are going to see that we give it a, let me close the sidebar, we gave it a main height of 100 view height minus 5 frame. This is because we've given the navigation bar a height of 5 frame. If you check the navigation, okay, so we've given the navigation a height of 5 frames, so we need to subtract that 5 frame, so that the minimum height of our main component, our main HTML component, is going to be 100 view height minus 5 frame. Okay, and we also make it a flex box so that we can easily centralize this container. Okay, and inside of that we are going to have that container. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so we are going to have that white container that is containing the welcome nodes. Okay, so we're going to have a div. Okay, inside of the div we are going to have an h1 HTML element. Okay, so and inside of the heading 1 we are going to have a span. All right, so we are going to have a greater than symbol here. The span is also having a class name attribute. Okay, so don't freak out, it is just emmet. All right, I'm going to copy the styles for the container, that is the white container we are having here. Okay, so this container, I'm going to copy the styles. Okay, paste that. And for our heading 1, I'm also going to copy the styles. Okay, so I'm going to paste the style there. All right, inside of the heading 1 we have a welcome note, but if you check, you see that the W has a greater font size than others, so that is why we'll be using the span to give this W a separate font size from others. Okay, so others will be having a font size of 5XL, while this one will be having a font size of 7XL. Okay, so we have text 7XL. Okay, so we have the W for welcome, and after that we are going to be having the remaining part of the text. Okay, so I save that. Now we have a welcome. Okay, so after the heading 1 we're going to have a paragraph. Okay, so the paragraph is going to contain the text, the welcome text. Okay, so we're going to have please sign in to continue. We have please sign in to continue. Sign in to continue, that is supposed to be 2 separate words, or create a new account. All right, so sign in to continue. We're also going to style this. Okay, let me just copy the style, margin bottom, give it a margin bottom of 2.5 frame, a font size of 18 pixels, and color of gray 600. Okay, so we have the sign in notes. Okay, this is what it looks like on a larger screen. All right, and after that we are going to be having a container for this sign in and create account link. Okay, I clicked on that, so we are going to have a container for that after this paragraph. Okay, so our container is going to have a class name of a class of space y5, that is space between both of our links. Okay, so here we're going to be having a link component. Okay, we need to import that from next. All right, and then we're going to give this href attribute. This is going to be for sign in page, so we are going to have / sign in. Okay, and then this is going to have a gigantic number of styles. I'm just going to copy that. Okay, I'm going to paste that here. All right, and inside of that, let me save that first. Okay, so inside of that we're going to have a span. Okay, if you look at this, whenever you hover over this, you see that we have this gradient from indigo to purple. All right, so we'll be using this span to give it that gradient. Okay, so I'm just going to copy that. Okay, so here we're going to have a span. All right, with class name attributes, and then I'm going to paste that here. Okay, so if you hover over that, you see we have that gradient there. Okay, and after that we're going to have a sign in text. That's another span. Okay, then we're going to give it a class of relative, so we have a sign in. All right, so now we have a sign in link. So after that we are going to be creating a sign up link. Okay, so we're also going to have a link component here. Okay, so that's going to have href attribute, so that's going to be leading us to sign up page. Okay, this one also has some gigantic number of styles. All right, I'm going to paste that set. If you are following along, there's no problem here. Just pause the video wherever you want to type out the styles. Okay, this is, I'm just copying and pasting the styles to save our time, because we want to mainly focus on authentication. Okay, so you can just pause the video, write out the styles, and you are good to go. Okay, inside of this we're going to have another span. Okay, the style is kind of different from that of sign in. Okay, this one has a whitish background. Okay, and after this we're also going to have another span with a class name of relative. Okay, and this is going to go by create accounts. Let me capitalize that, create account. Okay, all right, so we have our home page fully created for us. All right, so we have for sign in, we have for create accounts. Okay, you can see that both buttons are transitioned. If you check our styles, you are going to see transition on over. This is a button. You see transition all, and then you see over. We are translating it with a value of negative 0.125 rem. Okay, so that is what is responsible for that displacement. All right, so if you click on this now, we're going to have a 404 page, because we've not created a sign in and sign up page. Okay, so Next.js is going to automatically give us a 404 page for non-existent pages. All right, so that will be all for this video. In the next video, we are going to start creating a sign up page. Okay, don't forget to like the video, click on the subscribe button, so that by the time the next video is ready, you will be notified. And for other videos that will be coming up from this channel, thanks for subscribing, and I'll be seeing you in the next lesson.